listening to the Pelicans postgame report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
Perfect. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly die, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever. Ain't gon' lie, I feel flyer than I ever been. We stay ballin', this New Orleans, I'm a Pelican. It's going down in the nest, wild, wild west. Come in town and you best, show us some respect. 3-point threat, I better make it rain. If it's up, then don't jump stupid like your ankle sprain. Always said, never hate the player, hate the game. Jumper where the dame late, punch a train. Post game, Big Q, talking about business. Bird gang, YouTube, they ain't flocking with us. Lock up the division mission, get into the finals. Finish competition, then it's going win the title. I know this flyer than you can get. Such a threat that the refs just might call a tag. You can double, you can press, but you can't check. Right, left, slide by you like a Eurostag. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly die, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever. And never, and never, and never, and never, and never, and never say birds of a feather flock together. Yeah, fly die, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever.
All right, shout out to the fam. Big ups to the fam, PPR. For all things Pelicans, we up in this thing. Shout out to the fam. Much love. Much love, fam. On this episode of PPR, man, listen, we're going to go over and react to the Joe Dumars presser. Of course, yes, answer some questions in PPR. We'll go over it with Joe Dumars. What do you guys thought about those answers, man? If you didn't have an opportunity to listen to the presser, we'll do it live here, but also do us a service, man. Hit the like button if you're not a sub up, and hit the notification bell, and also join PPRs and answer the question that's in the chat right here, fam. That's that. Get your vote on that, and let us know. Do you like the hiring of Joe Dumars as VP? Let us know. It's a yes, no, I don't know, Q. Y'all put it in the chat. Let us know. Right now, a resounding 76% of the family members are saying that, hey, man, we like the Joe Dumars signing. We'll see where it goes. But, of course, the big talking point leading up to the Joe Dumars thing that we're going to hit on and talk about was the fact that the trading of Zion Williamson, the rumors or whatever it was called, or the mandates that were put on Joe Dumars, he espoused that. Like I said, the Pelicans, you don't have a team without Zion, so I don't think the trade situation, there's other things you can focus on. The health staff, perhaps it's a lot of stuff before you go talking about Zion. Try the health staff. He ain't the only one hurt here. But anyway, man, let's get right into it, man. We appreciate y'all being in the stream, man. DC and Lexxah join momentarily, but let's kind of jump right into it, man. The meat and potatoes and start the presser. And we'll kind of break it down as we go. Here's Gail Benson, a few things she had to say.
Not just to congratulate us on hiring Joe,
put one in the chat,
but
y'all
to
can hear it, fam.
express this sadness that he would be leaving his position with the NBA. They echoed my feelings and confidence in Joe's leadership. Every description of Joe included accountability, tough,
All right.
honest, and a winner. He has been a winner at every level of the game. He is a Hall of Fame player, an award-winning team executive, and as I mentioned, the trusted leader of NBA basketball operations.
That's it.
While making changes in leadership is never easy for me, I am confident Joe is the right person to lead our team and create a sustaining winning culture that can compete for championships. As a proud native of Louisiana, he knows how important our teams are to our community and what our people expect of the teams they support. He and I have spoken about this, and I know this is important. A tough, resilient, and of course, winning team is what our fans deserve, and through our discussions, I am confident that Joe shares that belief. I have promised him every resource he needs to compete and win. Joe has my full support to make any decision he deems necessary that will allow us to get closer to winning an NBA championship.
Said twice.
I am delighted to welcome Joe, his wife Debbie, and their family to the New Orleans Pelicans family. And now it is my pleasure to introduce our new Executive Vice President of Basketball Operations, Joe Dumars.
Very interesting. She said championships twice, giving them all the resources. So hopefully she'll allow him to get rid of Willie Green and pick his own staff. Hopefully that's the biggest resource right there, and not keep people based on contracts. So we'll see if this really sticks, but here's Joe getting on up there. We're going to have to send Joe a step or something. We got to help him out.
Happy to be home. Happy to be back in Louisiana. It's been a whirlwind journey for me. But before I get started, first of all, I want to just thank Mrs. Benson for this opportunity to actually be able to come back home and to do this, to take on this task.
Very toxic.
As Mrs. Benson said, we've spent quite a bit of time together and just talked about, the main thing we talked about really is the culture of Louisiana, the fans, this organization, good people, surrounding yourself with the right right people.
Not good human beings, huh?
And so I feel very confident taking on this role primarily because of her and her insight and her approach
run Joe
to
up out of here. He
people
started
and how
talking
we
about
deal
good
with
human
people.
beings.
I'll say this, and I say it with as much humility as possible, but there's just not a lot of places I would have left New York for. I enjoyed my job in New York. It was great. Loved it at the league office. All the people on the 20th floor that I work with in New York, all those people were great. I loved working with them. I wasn't
Maybe
looking
that'll
to
help
leave,
Zion's officiating better.
but sometimes opportunities come along and you know, right place, right time, right people. And that's what happened here with the Pelicans with Ms. Benson. So I really want to thank Ms. Benson for this opportunity to come home. The other thing I want to do is just say this, is that I've gotten to see a lot of stuff over the years throughout my NBA career, but there are certain things that are they're universal, I think. And I think you fill your building with like-minded good people. And I think
good
you
human
win with
beings,
good
huh?
people. And I often say this, just because you're a good person don't mean you're not a tough person.
Okay.
So you can be a good person and tough at the same time.
Oh.
And I don't stand here making a lot of proclamations about, I'm pounding my fist and doing this, but we really want to hire good people here. We really want to bring in the right type of players here. We want people that are going to embrace New Orleans, they're going to embrace being in this city, in this state. If you don't know the fans of Louisiana, you may not get it. Like, in my house in Michigan, we got Saints stuff here. Like, we're diehard Saints fans in Michigan. We didn't grow up Detroit Lions fans. We were Saints fans. And so I think if you're from here, you understand what it is to be a fan of Louisiana. And I say that because I say, if I'm living in Michigan and LSU is playing, I didn't go to LSU, but I'm pulling for LSU. I'm pulling for ULL. I'm pulling for Louisiana Tech. And that's just the way we are here as fans from Louisiana. And I love that about this. And so the team, the players, all of my colleagues that I'll be working with here, I truly believe in, you build a great culture where everyone feels great coming into the building every day. Win, lose, or draw, you feel great coming into the building. So I'll put a tremendous emphasis on culture, what the building is like, and then the basketball part, that's for myself and my staff to make sure we pick the right people, but the culture has to be right first. And so I'll put a heavy emphasis on that and try to build it the right way, and then we'll go from there. So I just wanted to open up and like I said, thank Mrs. Benson, thank all the people back in the NBA, thank Adam Silver, Mark Tatum. Those guys were incredible to work with for the last 3 years. But I'm super happy to be here and super happy to be home. So thank you so much. I appreciate it.
That's Joe, and then of course as they get ready to bring the people up and open up they'll have the jersey situation, and then listen, it's a little different than what we seen last year because it wasn't just Gail, it was also Dennis Lauscher. Lauscher had nothing to do with it, but he was anywhere on that damn stage. He taking a lot of heat right now, he really is. And he should. You shouldn't be the team president. You don't know shit about none of these teams. But you can see Gail gets up there and she holds up the number 4 for Joe. And, there you go. So Gail is the person that's told him that he's given Joe all of these resources. But the greatest gift she can give is to hire him and get out of his way and let him shape the team the way he sees that he needs to do it. Back the hell up. Don't say anything about keeping no damn coaches or he's just, I don't like Willie Green. He's such a nice man. No, none of that garbage. None of that. So anyway, shout out to DC. He'll be popping in here and there. And that's Joel. Shout out to Joel, man. Joel,
hold on now,
Joel.
Big Q.
Oh, my DC. He's such a nice man.
Now,
Willie Green is such a
I'm
nice
going
man.
to stay out his way, baby. Until he starts spending too much of my money.
DC, you're a horrible Gail Benson. DC is a horrible sounding Gail Benson. All right, hit DC. Hit.
When
Let's
I'm
hear
not
some of the
maybe
questions.
able to go get my nail appointments,
Joe, how you doing?
I'm going to have to get on your ass now, Big Q.
When you took this position,
Boss.
were there any operational edicts when you came in as far as retaining your head coach
Okay, good
or
question.
having to trade players? Are those things on the table? Or do you have an opportunity to come in and assess the organization from top to bottom and make recommendations going forward?
What was the first part of your question?
Are there any
That question was so
edicts
goddamn
that you've
good,
come
look.
in with that mandates?
Yeah, no, he is. None whatsoever. I read that last week. That, I had a mandate. I was like, if I have, nobody's called me and told me that. Like, no, really.
I said that.
Absolutely zero.
No, you ain't gonna give Joe
When,
Dumars a
Mrs.
mandate.
called,
You're a losing ass
She really
team.
just said what she said here. She said to me, she said, Joe, I would love to know what it feels like to win an NBA title.
Oh, hold up, Q.
That was
Okay.
as close to an edict as you.
All right. Go ahead, DC.
Are the Pelicans talking about a championship?
She said it twice. I brung light to it, the press conference. And remember, this was a criticism that I've been saying about Pelicans leadership. Not talking about winning championships, none of that. These people listen to everything you say. I was saying that they
Shout
just
out
want
to,
to make money.
Shout out to David Grubb, too, man. That was an excellent question.
Yeah, he
Excellent
set
question.
the tone, man, and I'm glad that reporters like that, him and Terry Kimball, man, those guys are asking the tough questions that we want to know. That's what we want. We won't know all this other stuff. We want to know what you're trying to do. So, all right, DC, you done? You want to go back to it?
If this is actually true, ain't this what we want?
I mean, championship talk. Joe Dumars has won one as
Like
an
you bring
administrator.
Joe
and so-
Dumars in here. I don't see how you don't try to go with the Saints approach now. And Mickey Loomis' problem is he don't never want to let his foot off the gas. Where you got to rebuild, you still talk about they go win and all this here, making stupid ass win now moves. You'll have a win now team. But the Pelicans have never really done that. So could they possibly be for real about moving in that direction? I'll say maybe it's real because has Miss Benson ever mentioned the Pelicans and championship together?
I've said
ever?
that. No. If
I don't
she
know,
did,
man.
she
I don't think
skipped-
I don't think it's just PR. I don't know.
Oh well, listen. If the championship talk, DC, that's one thing to mention it. But Joe Dumars does have a championship as a VP. We know David Griffin had one, but we know that was LeBron.
Maul says not real.
We know that was LeBron basically telling him what to do. But Joe Dumars is a different person altogether. Championship experience as a player, a very good player, a top 50 player, plus getting it as an administrator. Then his connections to the office. So he's a connected member of the NBA community. He instantly brings respectability to the organization, being that they're in proximity of him. But he does know, he had that vision that time. But to kind of update what he needs to do, DC, in his approach for this year will be interesting to see how he does terraform his thinking to make it more contemporary based on what he did when he won with Detroit. So that's something that he would have to get used to as well. But he's resumed probably the most resumed VP we ever had here. So
he's one of the most resumed VPs, period. Like, how many VPs do you have in the league?
That's a top 50 NBA all-time player? None.
All-time player, and have won 2 championships and a championship as a VP or GM. I don't remember what his title was when he won with the Pistons. If he was just a GM or if he had the vice president title, then I don't remember. But how many VPs have a resume like that?
Not too many of them, bro. But like I said, but
I don't know any. Like, I'm trying to think of other than you got with my boy Wes, huh?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. That's a good
Who
one.
else? He's
Jerry
like
West.
Jerry West, and maybe
can't think of
I'm missing
anybody else.
somebody. It can't be too many others. Maybe 1 or 2 more, but that's probably it.
Was Dominique Wilkins ever a VP? No, huh? Was Dominique? Dominique Wilkins was.
I think he was just a GM, huh? Like a GM for Atlanta.
I don't know. I know he was up there.
He was something
at one
over
time.
there. Okay, Danny Ainge is another one. That's correct.
Danny Ainge, that's a good one. That's a good one. Trey, shout out to Trey on that one. Danny Ainge, that's a real good one.
That's it, though, right?
Didn't Kevin McHale do it?
Kevin McHale, I think, was a coach, huh? Wasn't he a coach for the Rockets?
T-Wolves?
He was a GM for the T-Wolves?
I want to
Okay,
say
Pat Riley. Pat Riley, okay.
Pat Riley. Phil Jackson.
Yeah, bird talk, it is delicious, bro.
All right. So that's a few things. KB says, Q, I love this hiring, but gotta admit, when Dumars kept saying good people, man, he says, hold on, let me put him on there. Yeah, y'all caught that, huh? I love the hiring, but gotta admit, when Dumars kept saying good people, man, I was praying this dude didn't say good humans. My pals couldn't. He said my pale heart couldn't take that. Thank you, bro. That was good. Yeah, y'all see me, right?
So Dumars came in and replaced good humans with good people right quick.
Hey, I was like, I had to joke about it. I was like,
that's more New Orleans like, right? Good people.
Right. I was like, man, we're going to have to send Joe a step over there, DC or something. He kind of struggled to get up them stairs, man. We're going to have to help him out, bro. We got to keep his make sure that he stays here and get the team together.
That's all right, bro. He gonna get with the physical therapist and get all that together, Q.
Okay, there you go. He right down away from him. There you go.
Gonna get that together.
Let's get back to it, bro. Here we go. All right.
You would get, and so I intend to do just that. What you just said was like get to know people first. Because I don't know the culture inside the building. I don't know the people. I know some of the people. I know Willie. I know someone's going to ask me about the coach and Willie. I've been knowing Willie forever. Great man.
Not a great coach,
we
though.
haven't even sat down and talked yet. Hopefully today.
Great man, not a great
this
coach.
Evening if we can catch up and have time. But we haven't even had a chance to sit down and talk yet, just because yesterday was my first day here, and so I haven't even really had a chance to do that yet. I'm slowly starting to do it now and talk to everyone, but. No mandate, zero, nothing like that.
My name is Fletcher Mackle. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, buddy.
I was going to ask you, we all hear rhetoric, and we've heard rhetoric for a long time.
Did his eyes go
great, but how do you make that a reality?
When he said no mandate?
Nah, I didn't catch that, bro. But I don't think Joe lying about the mandate, man, because how she going to give him a mandate? The Pels ain't doing shit, and this man got all the credentials. How you going to give him a mandate? Unless it's a mandate to win a championship. I said we want to win a championship. Okay, I get that. But if she's saying we need to keep Willie to do it and all this kind of stuff, which some of the rumors are saying, we don't know if that's true or not because, like he's saying, he's still evaluating. So this is an ongoing process. So when things get hot and heavy, we're going to see.
Willie is at the press. He's at the press conference, man. Usually when the guy shows up.
Maul said he lying.
He said Gail lying if she keep Willie. She ain't trying
I'm
to win the
saying
championship.
if he's keeping Willie over these other coaches, there is a mandate because he wouldn't do that. You come in and you already know, you talk to the players. The players are going to tell you the same thing about Willie Green's coaching and the fact that they don't believe in him. And Joe Dumars, if he's trying to build a winner, he ain't going to keep the same guy that lost the team. Reports talked about him not knowing this, that, there. And we watched Willie enough for the last 4 years. We know what Willie's teams do. We know what kind of coach Willie is. And notice when people always refer to Willie Green, they talk about how good of a person he is, but never mention anything about his coaching ability. So, I mean, in the end, the bottom line is
You're right about that.
I'm telling
Everybody
you,
say he's a good person. That's like
he's a good person.
that's what they all say when they say Willie Green.
He's a great person, but nothing about his
No, nobody say he's a great coach.
None of that, because he
Good
ain't.
coach. He don't even get the good coach.
He don't get no good coach, and he's a really awesome coach. He don't even get awesome coach. So like I'm saying, yeah, it's true. But I'm saying at the end of the day, if it's a man, you'll know it's a mandate or not. If he keeps Willie Green and you have Taylor Jenkins and all these other guys out here.
You know what? Willie showed up to the press conference, right?
Okay.
And you know what I thought about? Initially, I was like, oh, that's over. They're keeping Willie Green. But then I thought about a situation. You remember when Josh Hart and Nikhil Alexander Walker and all them dudes got traded and they still showed up to the game?
That's right. I remember.
You remember that?
I remember that. That don't mean too much, does it?
Right. They might be telling Willie, like, we don't know. We ain't make a decision yet. And Willie will still show his ass up.
Well.
So that's, I don't know. Now I say before I was like 50-50. Now I'm like 75, 25%. 75% he stays, 25% he might be gone.
All right. Well, there you go. But like I said, man, we'll see. A mandate would be keep Willie Green and see what he does. That's a mandate. Now, did she tell him that?
She gave him full autonomy, baby. You heard
she said that. But I'm saying that she has a history of sticking her nose into these matters. That's how Elvin Gentry stated.
Maybe it's Dennis Lauscher.
Oh, please. Dennis Lauscher is at the
buffet. He moved like a little weasel too. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, DC, he at the buffet. He ain't worried about nothing she talking about. That boy was back there stuffing his face at the buffet during the press conference and shit. Yeah, and I'm gonna show y'all Dennis Lauscher at the end of this press conference too. Yeah, I'm gonna show you where he was at. He makes an appearance at the end of the press conference. You go see. Let's go back to it. Here we go.
Reality, are there any core principles that you can elaborate on as far as what you said from a culture perspective or kind of non-negotiables, just for some more perspective and depth on maybe how you plan on doing it?
Yeah, just the standards that you set as an organization. Like you have to set standards, and you can't waver from those standards. They can't be like the first week of the season, that here's the standard, and as the season goes on, things slowly start changing. That's not championship. That's not contending. That's not.
Okay, hold on. What the hell?
Yes, they wanted us to pause and comment on it.
That's not elite anything when you allow things to just slide. And so it's just setting standards early on, and then like you have to hold to that and hold everybody accountable to that.
Okay.
I think this Fletcher too. I think, and I had this conversation with Ms. Benson yesterday. Actually, we were talking about how you raise kids, right? And so but I think this is true about teams too. I can say anything I want to say. I can come in here and I can rattle off this, and this. But people have to see you live it every day. Like championship culture, like you're talking about playing into June every year. I can assure you, Fletcher, that is not this. You're not going to be up one day. They have to see you come in like a rock every day. And they have to know we lost last night, we won last night.
That was Chevy?
Doesn't matter.
Who that was?
Like this organization, we're going to do things the right way, and we're not going to waver from that. And I think culture is what you see every day when you come in. It can't fluctuate from day to day. It can't fluctuate from win to loss. That's what culture is, and that's how you get there. That's how you get to playing in June every year.
Hey, all right, go ahead, DC.
Oh, I just say like a rock. Whoa, like a rock. We're Chevy now, huh? Nah, but I think that's what you want, man. That is a true testament to championship because that's how you get there. You know, being great, really, that's the ingredient, one of the major ingredients. You got to show up every day, rain, sleet, or snow, with the mission at the front of your mind. He went for it. You got to get the visual cue. When they did the little slow motion commercial, did the truck going up the rock and pivoting out. You remember? All right. That's what I'm talking about. This is the type of organization we're going to have. You hear me?
Go ahead, DC. Go ahead, bro.
Resilient like a rock.
Break it down, brother. Break
Listen,
it
stones
down.
may break my bones, but rocks will fuck you up. Like a rock, baby.
Yeah, bro. Go ahead, break it down, DC. You break it down, DC. There you go.
You know, but I think that's the truth. That's the testament to any champion. They will all tell you that you got to show up with the same disposition. Your feelings and emotions and everything outside the building can't be swayed or changed from day to day from that mission at hand. You know what I'm saying? That is truly how you build a winner. And that goes hand in hand with what we talk about the Pels with being unprofessional. Even all the way down to our medical reports. The way we do our medical reports ain't even championship. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a mindset. So I don't know how you go about just re-implementing that with the same coach. Because, you know, coach usually goes hand in hand with that as well, setting that type of tone. But if this is his main sticking point, which we talked about, this kid, he would come in here and he would heavily influence philosophy. I know Joe Dumars was going to come in here and that was going to be his main thing because 20 years. Man, you can't be a champion, not be built like a rock. Look at that.
Go ahead, DC. Go ahead, break
Mike
it down.
had a hell of a construction company.
Do you
like
spill over this, bro?
You know, I want to see the commercial, man. I'm trying to be built like a rock. You hear me? What we got to do? Oh yeah, you bust that headlight. I'm going to give me another goddamn headlight right now. Built like a rock. But it's Chevy or is it Ford? I couldn't remember. It's Chevy, right? Chevy?
Yes.
Good joke.
Chevy, the most dependable, longest lasting truck.
Yeah.
Like a rock.
Like a rock, baby. I ain't never understand rock, paper, scissors, man. Rock gonna win all the time. You gonna put some goddamn paper up against a rock? Some scissors up against it? Man, rock gonna win every time. Take a rock and smash all that shit. It's dependable.
Oh, man. No,
Joe Dumars coming in here like a wrecking ball. He like a rock. You hear me?
Like
tear everything up. Tear that whole front office up. You know what I'm saying? Rebuild it from the ground up with rocks.
Hold on, DC. Let's get current on it, man. Joe he struck a chord with us, man.
Yeah, that's a great testament, though. Serious talk. I like what I'm hearing so far, man.
Even though we up man. Joe. This is shout out to Joe.
Joe saying all the right stuff, man. If he can deliver on what he's saying so far, man, this would be awesome. And see, they dependable too. It's like 20 years. It's like 20 years later, right? They don't stop. You know what I'm talking about? They don't stop. Yeah. Look at that fiery look in his eyes. Only a rock could give you that look like that. Never can't get to the goddamn Pelicans. We need to be like a rock.
Oh man, let's get back to it, man.
Some goddamn dependability and consistency around here, man.
Here we go, man. Let's get back to Joe, man. Joe inspired this when he talked about being
Joe,
like
Doug Mouton. Do you have a relationship with Zion Williamson now? And what are your impressions of him overall at this point?
Well, I'll say this. At the league office, I've had to talk to Zion a few times. So I do have a relationship with Zion that started in my role at the league office. I won't go into those conversations there, but we've talked since then. And I've talked to Zion since I became EVP here, and we had exceptional conversations on the phone. Actually, I've talked to every player. Willie and I talked, 5 minutes, Willie, on the phone, something like that? Like, we talked for a couple of minutes on the phone. But I've talked to every player on the phone. I called every player.
Willie gave him whole philosophy in 5 minutes.
Yeah, I tried to reach out and make sure that I touch these guys and let them know.
Just went over the 3 power.
Let's go. It's time. It's time here.
He explained the switch off.
Hey, Joe, Aaron Summers here. I work for the team, so I'll see in a lot of you. But you've had a couple stops since your couple championships.
Togetherness.
What have you gained from your time with the Kings in the league office that you're going to bring into your approach this time around?
So what's been good about that is it's great because I had to deal with all 30 teams every day. I mean, like it was nonstop. And so in the course of my position at the league office, what you end up seeing is how every single team runs your business. And for me, it was great to just pick up, because you can pick up something from every organization.
Okay.
And so what I tried to do is pick up best practices from every organization out there. I dealt with every organization. I saw how each person, each team dealt with certain issues.
You don't say.
And I just, I filed that away as I was, doing my job every day. And it was good. It was good to, it's good to get thoughts from besides just your small circle. It's good to see what everyone else does on a daily basis, and I think that was great.
Hey, Joe, Schmidt Dua here. You're inheriting a team that just had the second worst season in franchise history.
All right, shout out to KB Free 68, man, with the super chat. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you very much for picking me up,
Appreciate it, bro.
bringing me back to this world.
Shout out to you, man. Appreciate you for what you do, fam. Much love and all the love back at you, fam. Shout out to the rest of the fam in the building as well, man. Big ups to you guys. Jade says, Q, can we get back to the press conference? We back to the press conference, brother. Marley Mall says, so you think Dumars will fire Willie? Nah, hell no. All right, Maul, we're going to take a look. Hey, let's get back to it, DC. Let's see what he got to say about the losing.
Your starting point guard is going to miss some time to start the season next year. Just what are the goals for coming into next season? Are you trying to push this team back into the playoffs, or is there perhaps a longer, more patient approach there?
So
great question.
You build a culture where every game your team thinks that you can win every game. That you never walk on the court and think there's no chance for us to win. And so when you do that, the results will come from that. But to put something on the wall right here and now and say, well, we want to do this, right? That doesn't matter what you put on the wall. It's what you build on the ground first. So my focus will be and as we build that, the results will come from that. And so you won't hear.
No matter what you put up on that wall, man.
Well, he pointed up at the wall too, so that shit up there
that's
now.
not what it is. Like you can go to any winning team, NFL, NBA, wherever, all 30 NBA teams, the really, really good teams, you'll never see them talking about that. What they will talk about is what we do every day, what we do every single day to be great. And I think that more than anything else is what we want to do here. We want to build every day on just being great every day, and I promise you the results will show on the floor.
I had another question. You became a senior executive at a very young age. And now there's been about a decade since you oversaw your own team. Just another personal question. There's only 30 of these jobs. To get an opportunity like this again, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but does it make you feel 20 years younger? Do you feel invigorated to maybe have this opportunity, knowing that these jobs are very rare?
Man, that question has so much potential before he turned it upside down.
But Fletcher,
it's Fletcher Mack or no.
I have a great appreciation for these positions.
He started off good and then
you'll never hear me bash
turn it upside down.
That's his personality.
As we move forward and work together and stuff, you'll hear me
because DC he could have pivoted and says, how do you adjust from then to now?
It's a hard job. I mean, this is a really, really hard job.
He fumbled the hell out of that.
You're in that glass box every day, and every day you got to make decisions. and you got to walk the walk. And it's not easy to do.
Oh, we shout out my man for the super chat, Big Q.
For these positions.
Yes.
And for everyone that does these positions, I'm super impressed. And to your question, directly to your question, yeah, grateful for it. But as I said, I was completely content and happy walking home every evening in New York after work, and wasn't looking. But like I said, when certain situations come, you just know, man. I said it again, right place,
Appreciate you for the super
right
chat,
city,
brother.
right people. This is one I was like, this is the one I will do. This is the one I'll do.
Joe, right here in the front, Rod Walker with the Times-Picayune. You mentioned that you got bits and pieces from different teams. What was it about this particular team that you really liked?
I like the core here. I think there's some really good young pieces here.
Okay.
I think that there's a fan base. If you win in New Orleans,
good,
I think
Jaden,
everybody in this
doing
room
good,
knows. You start winning in New Orleans, people are going to come out, man, in droves. And so I know that this was, first of all, an incredible fan base. Secondly, for me at this point in my career, ownership of where I work was of paramount importance. And so coming here and working for Ms. Benson, coming here and looking at the core of who's here, I've been knowing Willie since he was at Cooley High in Detroit. And so I just thought all those things together, for me personally, it was just like, this is the right fit. This is perfect right here.
Over here, Joe again, Beer Grove again. You came from an organization with the Pistons that kind of set the standard at its time when you were a player and then early in your executive career for going the extra mile for players and for the fans and all those things, building a world-class arena, being the first team to have its own private jet. When you look at one of the criticisms of the Pelicans has been the fan experience, and Ms. Benson addressed that in her statement when you were hired. For the basketball operations and all those things, how important is it to get a stadium deal done or to get the arena renovated and to make the fan experience for
Who asking that question, DC?
That's Joe Grubb, man. He going for the journalism championship tonight.
Specifically
Who was that?
That afternoon. Joe Grubb, David Grubb.
Oh, he asked about the stadium?
Yeah, he asked about if they're gonna renovate or look for a new stadium. Like,
man, all that's off the table, man. Ain't none of that shit.
I keep saying, call him man Joe. David Grubb ain't playing.
Yeah, but the thing is, man, the hell with the stadium talk right now. Make the team good, then we'll talk later.
Nah, but I mean, you would like to know their mindset though on that. That kind of to me is a question that kind of can tip the Pels' hands of what they plan to do, and if they bullshitting us about winning the championship, right? Based on what information you can get out of Joe Dumars with that question. Because if they're trying to do that, or he makes it known that they're trying to do that, I don't see how you would see them tearing this thing up or try to sit idly by, which I already don't think they're going to do that, hiring Joe Dumars. But it definitely will show their thought process on how they see the team and what they're trying to do going forward. Because if they are trying to renovate the stadium or build a new arena, you would have to think the first thing on the agenda would be to actually win. Because you can't do those things with a loser. Can you imagine the Washington Wizards or the Charlotte Hornets, who, according to a poll that Lex sent me, is the only two teams that's viewed worsely than us right now?
Yeah,
could you imagine either one of them coming out saying they want a new stadium? How would that be received, Q?
Not very well, brother. You get laughed out of there, man. If not,
exactly.
A couple of bombs thrown on you, so F-bombs and everything.
At the bare minimum, man, you have to put at least a good 2 to 3 seasons of consistent winning under your belt consecutively. Like, they're all running together, not broke up into pieces like what we've seen.
And you have to step
before you can ask something like that.
And then you got to be able to have some depth to it too, DC. Not no first round, all that kind of stuff. Like you have to be, like we talked about the Indiana Pacers, right? And what they built. This is a team that's, they might sneak there every now and again, get up to the very tops with a really good coach, but they're consistently in the playoffs every year, fighting for a chance. You can't win a championship unless you're consistently there. The Pelicans too finicky. They up and down, all this kind of stuff. And she definitely want a new building. I mean, that's something that she be hinting on. She be having the reporters, the ones in the pockets, throwing out these questions about a stadium, because the true family members don't care about no stadium, man. Especially if you're not winning. I mean, if you want the stadium, you build a damn stadium. You take the $6 billion you got, take a couple billion in that, and you build your own building. They're not going to do that. They're going to give 25% and let you pony up 75% for a new building that they can bank out on. They ain't banking out on a team that can't win consistently, man. So Joe Dumars is here to bring, but she got to get the hell out of the way with this other stuff. So like I said, we'll see what happens here, because like Joe's saying, he's still doing a lot of evaluations. This is like a meet and greet type situation. But, you know, I would love to see how this looks down the line, DC, as, you know, as he gets his evaluations done, figure out what's going on, talk to the players, get their respects, you know, their information about how and everything's going on with the team. But some of the points that he talked about so far in the press conference is some of the ones that we've been saying for years. Now, I don't know if I haven't heard this whole thing, but I haven't heard. I'm pretty sure that the reporters not ask him about the health staffs, because that's the biggest problem the Pelicans have. They need to upgrade that, in my opinion. The Pelicans and Saints have shitty health staffs.
You know, Rome wasn't built in the day. If they had any mandate, it probably was a mandate to not mention that shit.
That's right. All right, let's get back to business, man. Here we go. Back to Joe Dumars. Like a rock, DC. Like a rock. There we go.
What Ms. Benson and her execs we've talked about. I have zero doubt about that. What I am concerned about is the product that we put on the floor, for whether it's this arena, Smoothie King, or somewhere else or wherever. For me, like, put the right product out there, and it's going to sell out. Fans are going to come. Like, that's, you know.
That's right.
You know, Detroit, you know, we've had some incredible runs there in Detroit in the past. Like, and they're having another one right now. They're doing great right now. But it's all based on what you build. And I've always said this, is that when it's at its best, the product on the floor reflects the city. So, you know, there was a time you come to Detroit, the bad boys might touch you a little bit. And but that reflected the toughness of Detroit. And so I think the same thing here. This is a resilient city.
What you talking about, Joe?
New Orleans is resilient, and people, they don't fold here. They don't just give up.
Yeah, we put our foot in people at this down here, Joe.
And so for me,
that's right.
That's the main thing for me, is to put the right product on the floor. You can trust Ms. Benson what she says. Like, I trust what she told me, and I have zero doubt about that. And I'm just thinking,
so
okay, that's going to happen.
Yeah, you like a rock. He's dependable.
Like a rock.
Jake Madison over here.
Strong as
I
can
trying
be.
to understand the culture of the team. What's your process for doing that?
Nothing
What are your goals
got
of the next month for kind of seeing where this organization is as a whole?
Listen more than you talk.
Ooh.
Listen more than you talk.
Listen more than you talk.
I have a lot of experience. I've seen a lot of stuff over the years, but I haven't
Opposite
seen
of
it
David
here.
Griffin.
And so to come
That's
here
right.
and
Talk while you
just
listen.
Talk.
That was David
and you're
Griffin.
not listening. I yesterday did a lot of listening. I did a lot of listening this morning. After this is over with, the rest of the week, I sit down with people and I tell them, like, tell me what's happening. Like, what's going on? What can be better? What are we doing wrong here? What are we doing right here?
Oh, hold up, Q.
Who's got positive energy?
All right.
Who's got bad?
Go ahead, DC.
So Joe said he been doing more listening than talking.
That's right. That's what he said. That's what he said.
It sounds to me like somebody is doing evaluations. This is some shit Mickey Loomis don't never do it.
Oh, you damn right I am. Why not? Goddamn right. So, I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, he's definitely evaluating mode, DC, because he got to figure out what's going on with the team. He don't know what's going on with the squad. He just knows the outer layers of what a common person that's watching basketball will see. The Pelicans falling and stumbling, bumbling over their own feet, missing out here or there, inconsistent, not consistently there, despite the fact that they do have talented players. He sees, you know, the outer layers. But
I just want to know if he asks any of them, how do you feel about coaching? When he asked them what's going on or what's wrong here, if anybody has mentioned coaching. Are our guys too nice to kind of tell the truth about Willie and his strategies? And you know they're gonna start it off with he's a really nice guy. He's a good guy. You know, they're gonna you gotta kind of walk in the water. They ain't gonna just dive in the pool with that. They gonna. Hey, hold up, Mo.
Not everybody.
You say if Willie is from Detroit, why he not tough? Why y'all think Willie not tough? Man, you know how tough you got to be to keep getting slapped in the face and turn another cheek? What's wrong with you? Willie not tough, man. What you talking about?
Don't you dare call that man Martin Luther Willie the Green or whatever.
Yeah, Willie Martin Luther King Green.
Oh, that's terrible.
That is him. Willie is tough. He have intestinal fortitude for keep on loving on people that's trying to stomp their foot in his ass. He has a unquenchable thirst to continue to do that. What are you talking about? You know how many coaches Willie has gifted wins to? Man, this got to be one of the toughest coaches in the league, man. He had to watch every night other teams celebrate. And knowing if he would have just did a little bit more and tried to at least go talk to some good coaches and take their advice, we could have did something different about that. You know, we could have won some of those games in the fourth quarter last year. But no, Willie is tough. You know how hard it is to watch all that losing and not change shit? You got to be tough. You got to be
I think
tough,
you're confusing
dog.
tough for stupid, bro. I think that's what's going on, bro. I think you might be.
Stupid people can be really tough, Q.
Okay, that's true.
I mean, if you keep doing the same thing, busting your head up against the wall, you're going to get some callus every once in a while. Now, you still dumb as hell for busting your head up against that wall, but you ain't going to split it open as many times no more after you keep doing it. Stupid people are tough, Q.
Oh,
They got to have some toughness to be that damn stupid.
Okay, right. Okay, all right. I hadn't thought about it like that.
We can move on.
All right, here we go. I didn't think about it like that.
Wait, hold on. Wait, I got one more. I'm sorry. My man Marley asked me a question. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Now, Marley, do you know how tough you got to be to cry in front of the world and let another grown-ass man wipe your tears while the camera is running this through 110 million homes across the world? Might have been more than that. That was a playoff game. Might have been about 500 million homes or a billion homes. To deny
I think the
your God-given masculine right to hold them tears in until you get in the locker room, man, that takes some toughness, bro.
I think the priceless part about it was Alfred Payton. Alfred Payton dapped him. And then looked at him and then looked back at him like, this dude crying?
What, Now I understand why they cut Alfred Payton. It was Willie Green, bro. Willie Green, remember that shit. That's why they cut Alfred Payton and kept bringing it back.
But how Willie gonna know that, DC? Man. He didn't look back.
Huh?
How Willie Green know that he looked at him and said this? And the look that Alfred gave him was like, this dude crying?
He could feel it, bro.
He was the only dude crying.
His emotions was high, Q. He could feel it. He was in his feminine. He could feel it, Q.
Dude. I think you mixing them up, DC. I think you're mixing up the terminology.
Man, you gotta be tough as hell to cry like that. Let a grown ass man wipe your eyes, and you ain't worried about that shit. I couldn't do it.
Let him.
I couldn't do it.
His tears away. Like, dude, I never seen that.
I couldn't do it. Man, I wish my partner would try to wipe my tears away. Man, you get your goddamn
television.
hand on you. This is my dude too. This could be my dude. And you come up in kindergarten together. Man, I'm gonna smack his hand over. I don't know what you doing. It's one thing you try to, put your arm around him or give him a bro hug or something. You wipe my eyes. Man, look, them tears will go to anger real quick. You about to fight up in there. Wiping my goddamn eyes.
Well, obviously.
Where my woman at, man? That's something I let my woman do. I ain't about to let you wipe my goddamn. Get out of here.
DC, listen, bro. Obviously, your partner and you don't have the same relationship Willie and Monty have.
Don't know grown men got that same goddamn relationship. Come on now. You my brother. I ain't about to let you do that shit or attempt to do that shit to you. Come on, man.
All right, let's go back to Joe. Here we go.
Yeah, we getting off track. Talking about Willie toughness.
To come in, you can have all the experience in the world, but if you don't know the culture of the building, if you can't talk to people and let them talk to you, you're missing. You're missing. And so I don't want to miss. I want to listen to people, tell me what's happening.
Joe Schmidt here again. Since your time in Detroit, the league has rapidly embraced analytics. There's just been a great proliferation of that across the league. Where do you fall on data-driven decision-making, not just on the basketball court itself, like X's and O's, but also in terms of the moves you might be making as a front office or just helping progress the team forward?
Yeah, at the league office, I've had the opportunity to, quite frankly, the analytics department at the NBA office is right on my floor. It's on the 20th floor with the whole group there. So
keep playing with Joe. You've been studying analytics for 10 years.
At the league office.
Keep playing with it.
I think there's absolutely a place for it in this game. I think it has to be used the right way, though. I think you can't replace basketball with analytics. I think you still have to have incredible basketball minds in the building that can see the game.
Right.
And then I also think that there's a place for analytics where you can combine those two together. So I do think it's a place for it. I'm not like either or. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's not mutually exclusive of each other. Like you have to have analytics and you can't have basketball minds, or you have basketball minds and can't have analytics. So for me, I think it's just how you use it, and I embrace. That's why I got close to all those guys at the league office, because I want to know, I want to learn, I want to understand what they're seeing, and test it up against what I'm seeing, with my eyes and all. So, yeah, definitely a place for it for me.
Hi, Joe. Ali Kosel here. How have you evolved since you worked up in Detroit? It's been 10 years from this position. How have you learned, adapted?
Yeah.
What can you say about that?
Yeah, so where the game was more half court, big man centric, the floor is way more space now, obviously more threes now. Pace of the game is much more than it used to be. So, you're there, you're living it every day, and you're watching the game evolve into something new. And so I think you have to be progressive-minded enough to change with the game. I don't think you can come in and say, hey, I'm going to build a team the way I won my other championships. I don't think you can do that. I think there are some principles that you have. You got to still defend people. You got to still share the ball. There are certain things that don't change, but there are aspects of the game that have clearly changed. Like I said, the spacing of the floor, the pace of the game, the amount of three shot, players who can play multiple positions, like all those things have changed over the years.
In the center, Brett Martel with AP. In regards to the number of man games missed to injury this past season for this club, is that something that you want to analyze or address in any way, or do you think it was really just bad luck and there's only so much management can do?
That's a good question.
Like, so, you see it from afar. I'm watching it this past season. I'm watching all the injuries happen here, and, I don't know exactly what's happening. And so, as I said before, I'll sit and talk with medical staff and all the health and performance people, and at some point I'll get to sit down with them this week, hopefully, and just kind of get a handle on what's been going on, what's been happening.
Right. Talk to them health people.
What is your thoughts on this? I think that's the best thing that you can do is listen to the people who are dealing with this on a daily basis. Don't come in with any preconceived notions, because I wasn't here. I don't know what happened. So.
Yep.
Hey, Joe, back row here, Madeline Adams from Fox 8. I know you said there's not a lot of jobs that you would leave New York for, and I know you've had success at so many places in your career, but what would it mean to you to bring success here to your home state team, to the Pelicans?
Thank you for that question. I wouldn't have come if I didn't think that. Like, I wouldn't have just, to take a job just to take a job. Like, for me, that's of no interest. So I wouldn't have come if I didn't think that we could build and become winners here. And so that was the whole purpose for me coming. Otherwise, I would have stayed where I was. But I think you have to be able to pick the right place, the right time, the right people, the right team. You have to be able to assess that. And then you got to be honest with yourself. I think you have to be self-aware. You got to know who you are. You got to know what you can do, what you can't do. You got to know what works for you, what doesn't work for you. I just think New Orleans works for me.
Okay.
Just a lighter question, Joe. There's the famous meme of you holding multiple phones on the while you take
flip phone?
Yeah. Do you have new phones now? You got an iPhone?
I have two phones, but they're two iPhones now.
All right. Just making sure.
Yeah.
I got two.
If I can ask one more question. Correct me if I'm wrong, I think when you were with the league office, you were the person who was in the room at the lottery with the ping pong balls.
That's the next song.
Are you going to bring any luck this year, and are you going to represent the team on the dais?
So I don't know. I was thinking about that. So it was my department that we oversaw the room where it actually takes place in the back, and I would always be in. I've been in there for the last 3 or 4 years. And I was thinking, I might want to go back in there with my staff in there. Those are all my guys I work with there. So I don't know yet. I was thinking about that, Fletcher. I was thinking about that yesterday. And I was like, well, the days I'm going to be in the back. So I don't know yet.
On that note, you have a big draft coming up. Sorry, right here.
Show us Joe on draft.
Yeah, you have a big draft coming up. Just outside of getting the right person in the building, what are some qualities that you might look for from a pick that is a top potential 3 or 4 pick?
I'm sorry.
Like a rock.
Yeah, what qualities would you look for?
This Joe on draft night, y'all.
I think whether it's the top 4 pick or whether it's the 50th pick, the approach that guys take to this is, look, you're not going to be successful just with talent alone. Like, there are some intangibles that you have to have. Like, you have to have, like, you got to want to be great. Like, every player in the NBA.
Okay, so we know what he tells us.
To be just great. And so you got to figure that out. Like, does this guy really want to be great? You got to have the intangibles. Is he a worker? Is he going to show up? Does he have toughness? You know, all of those intangible things, besides he can run fast, he can jump high, he can shoot the ball. Once you get past that, I can see that. Anybody in here can see that. What you don't know is what's here. Like, does this guy have it? And so that's the part that you have to put tremendous amount of emphasis in with your staff to dig in to find out, what's this guy made of? Like, does this guy really want to be great? Is he going to come here and be a part of the culture? Is he going to buy in? Those are the things for me, whether it's the draft.
Hope that when your value when you didn't draft Carmelo.
Those are things I want to know more than anything else. And with all of my staffs, I've always said that. Like, look, here's the thing, I'll just say this. Whether you draft a player, sign a free agent, or make a trade for a guy, there's 2 people walking in that building. There's the player and the person. You better know who the person is. Because the player can walk in there and look beautiful.
That's why Joe got 2 phones.
The right person for your building. And so for me, I always put a tremendous emphasis on who's the person. I can see the talent, but I need to know the person. So we'll do that here. We'll put a tremendous amount of emphasis on the person and not just the beautiful talent that you can see with your own eyes.
Joe gonna call you on that personal phone.
We ain't gonna talk basketball. What kind of personality are we getting? Are we getting Joe? The other phone, when you get on the other phone, is all basketball.
That's right. That's right. You got to work on that other phone.
I think you can be cool, but there's some definite G.I. Joe.
Ring.
Yeah, there's some definite G.I. Joe here. But like I said, I'm not loud. I don't think you have to be loud. I don't think you have to be obnoxious and arrogant and all of that. But I think people see that you stand and you don't move and you don't compromise.
Oh shit!
What's what? You know what I mean? Like, you don't compromise on like standard. Like, that won't change with me.
That's the new banner.
You can't get me to.
We know Willie is a goddamn statue.
And you know, I can say it with a smile, but I'm not going to move off of high standards. And so, if you can't live in that space, it's probably not for you here. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, shout out to Joe, man.
Well done, Joe. Well done. Now, if we could get you to drop about 30 pounds, bro, we'd be in the game, bro.
Right. Yeah, Joe's kind of struggling getting up that stairs a few moments
Joe
ago,
been out of work for a while, man.
Yeah, we got to get Joe up that 20th floor, man, and get back into the building.
That's all right. Being around the game, I think he's going to do it to him. You know, he's going to get to run around in there a little bit, or maybe walking around. I don't know how much running around he can do right now.
Come on, bro. Oh, man. Hey, bro, that wouldn't be a good look. Joe tumbling. He moving too far and gravity takes his way and pulls him down. Hey, there it is.
Hey, that wasn't that.
Y'all just said.
Get us the menace. You forgot the menace.
You see them creep across there?
Yeah. Dennis like he getting old, bro. He done aged about 10 years since the last time I saw him. He don't look shit like them pictures, huh?
y'all go see DC. He gonna pop right across there. Like, what was it? He wasn't on that stage, boy. He ducking off. He gonna make an appearance. It was common because I was asking where he at. And then right as shit,
where's Dennis?
Where's Dennis?
Soon as Joe left the podium, bro,
he was trying to. He just finished moving past that buffet. He got done with the buffet.
Oh, I gotta go back. Where's the buffet?
Watch. He pops up. There you go.
Whoa, hey, don't get that last piece of cheesecake.
There you go.
Honey, we got to get our food to go. Who's good?
Go Dennis Lounge.
He's smiling, looking at all that food. Look at that shit.
These guys is
crazy. Do he have a neck or do it just run into the bottom of his chin? What's going on right there?
I don't know what's going on, bro. It's some weird stuff
going on. Man, Dennis don't even look like that picture no more, bro. He got the little swoop over now. Got some new glasses, some gray hair mixed in there.
All right,
you gotta redo his picture, Q. Yeah, that's a different person. Well, you said he was a serial killer, so he might be on the run now, you know.
Right. Yeah. All right, so big ups to the fam, man. Appreciate the fam listening to us, man. Much love. Y'all hit the like button. I see your fam over there on IG. Much love to you guys and X. Big ups to you. All right, so anyway, that's the presser, man. Y'all let us know in the chat. Was it a good hire in your opinion about the Pels and Willie Green? Do you think it was a good one? 64% of the family members says yes, it is. DC of the people polled.
Yeah.
Say it's a good one. All right, DC, go ahead with your question.
I was just looking at some of the questions from the family. You know, like my man Slim Salt here. He said, why he looked like a preacher? Well, you know, I gotta give him a pass. Joe is from is it Shreveport? I think he's from Shreveport, right? Mm-hmm. That's kind of their swag, though. You know, like older guys. I'm serious. Q, why you laughing?
Bro, that's not.
That's their swag, bro. Like that's what I remember them being like. A lot of them wore suits.
Joint swag. Is that what going on?
Joint swag. You know how like our grandpas and stuff used to have them hats with the feather in them and all that. And then as time went on, you know they kind of tightened it up a little bit, or tuned it up a little bit.
Zoot suit. They wearing zoot suits in Shreveport, DC.
Down there in Shreveport, them older guys, bro. They still straight laced, bro. You know, I think that's just part of his swag. Okay, Joe don't talk like a preacher to me. He got too much accountability. He don't be talking all that hope shit. So he don't really talk like a preacher to me. But he definitely do look like one. You know, a man get back in shape. You ain't gonna be able to say that. But I think he's an awesome hire so far, man. Everything Joe said puts a smile on my face for one reason, Q.
Okay.
He cannot be serious about any of this shit except for like a rock. He can't be serious about any of this shit and keep Willie Green, bro. The only thing that fit is the like a rock, because Willie is a goddamn statue. We know that. He just stand around with his arms folded. Right. You could put two poses of Willie during the game. He could have two statues, and it'd be two different motions. Is he twirling his hand and stand up there with his arms crossed? That's it. That's the only thing you're gonna see. But by all other accounts, everything else he said to me, Willie Green don't fit any of that. You know,
no, he really don't.
You know, I'm joking with y'all about the toughness and all that, trying to spin that shit. Willie is not tough at all. Come on, y'all. I know that. You can be nice and be tough, though. That is a thing. We're looking at a person right there in front of us like that. Joe Dumars, I would consider to be a gentleman. You know what I'm saying? But go put on the tape. The bad boy Pistons. Joe ain't about to take no shit. You know what I'm saying?
You got to switch your turn on your ass in a minute. I get that, bro.
You start taking that kindness for a weakness.
That's right.
So Willie Green don't exhibit that to me. I don't think he fits resilience, unless being resilient is just keep on losing and showing up. I guess that is some type of resilience, right? You're not improving, but you're still here. But shit, who ain't gonna show up and get a check? So, hearing everything you said tonight, I'm encouraged with the hiring. I think what we need him to do, he can, and he sounds very capable. His philosophy and what he wants to build is sound, and it almost is echoing or mirroring what we've been saying. talking about creating a team that fits the culture of the city. And Joe is absolutely right. You see that because anybody who watches championships, that's what you see. When you look at championship teams, they embody the people of that city. Or let's say even if they don't fully embody what that city is as far as the players they got, they know how to be in tune with their fan base to tap into that energy that them people coming in there and putting out. And they show them a mirror of what the people want to see from them. And the people, you know what they do? They give them more energy. That's why when you go in a championship arena and they're on their home court, man, you got the scratch, dig, claw to get you a win out of there, man. That's the people.
Mm-hmm.
The people coming there, they give them that energy where they need that little extra oomph for them people there every night, giving it to them because they know when they put all this energy out, it ain't going to go to waste. Can't say the same about the Pelicans. For a short period of time, or maybe let's say a decade or so, we could say the same about the Saints. You know, the Saints had mastered how to feed off that energy, and as soon as Drew Brees left, it was like they lost it. But
that kind of disappeared. The winning too, DC at the same time. So
it wasn't just the winning.
The air out the building too, brother.
It wasn't just the winning, man. It just was we got away from our standard. Sean Payton was here. You still had it, but you could see they were bad GM moves, bad drafts. They didn't have the talent. Them last Sean Payton years, but the people were still putting that out. Sean Payton left, Drew Brees left. It's like, and they came through with this bullshit ass regime and trying to do shit different. The players we like, Dennis Allen won't put him in the doghouse and shit. Like, I still don't like what happened to Michael Thomas. I know he, kept getting hurt and stuff, but the way they did him was dirty, man. The dude was absolutely right about everything he said about Derek Carr. And they ship him on out the door for telling the goddamn truth. Same with Marshawn Lattimore. Because they told the truth and they stuck to the standard of days of old. And the Saints wanted to go to this losing ass philosophy, losing weak ass leadership. And the players wasn't having that shit. Now we got the opposite thing look like it's happening over here. You got Joe coming in and he's setting a standard out the gate with this press conference. He told you why he wanted to be here. Because that was a good thing too, Stacey. He was like, my question would be why? Because you want to hear that. What's the passion? Like, what's behind all? You coming here to get a check? Why are you here? And Joe, I believe what he's saying, man. He had a nice, cushy job in the NBA office. I'm pretty sure that job he had paid pretty well, not prayed. Then let me get this damn preacher comment over here. Got me saying prayed. But I'm sure it paid pretty well. And like he said, he could have just stayed up there. He liked his job and collected a check. But it was something in his heart watching David Griffin destroy the fucking Pelicans that struck a nerve the same way it did when he was watching Dell Demps destroy the Pelicans. It's like, man, let me get up in there. I could change that. I can turn that around. And I'm pretty sure in the back end, he was like, yeah, I can make a pretty good penny doing it too.
Of course.
But nonetheless, everything he outlined, man, if words are actions, I would be completely pleased with Joe Dumars. But like he himself said, anybody can say anything, or they could get up there and say stuff and make little banners and put them up on the wall, but that don't mean shit. You got to show up every day and be dependable like a rock. You know what I'm saying? So let's see where it goes. He's truly sitting back and listening to feedback from everybody, and he's going to act on that feedback, I don't have any doubt Willie Green will be fired. But maybe there is some type of talk where, okay, we going to let Willie go, baby, but I got to keep getting my nail appointments. Not yet. Maybe there's something to that.
DC is a horrible game.
Either way, we gonna see. Well, shit, you ain't gonna do it. I gotta do it.
I ain't gonna do it, brother. You got it, bro.
Right.
So, what about the nail appointments? I go, DC.
Big Q. I can't let Joe Dumars come in between me and my interior decorating and my nail appointments.
She not interior decorating anymore, cuz she got it, bro.
That is my passion, Q. And it can get very expensive because I have to put all the money up front for those clients' furniture.
She doesn't do interior decorating anymore, bro. She's no.
I do it for love, Q. I don't put my name on it. It's just a passion. And my nail appointments. If we fire Willie Green, that is going to cut into. I can't do this shit.
Let's go cut into doing her nails.
Goddamn Gail Benson.
I try. How much her nails cost? DC $1,000 an appointment? How much?
She get diamonds mixed in her nail polish. I thought you knew that. They put diamond dust in their nail polish. I thought you knew that.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Talking about these.
Miss Benson is a 101, bro. You know them. Come on, Q. Why you acting like you ain't from the city?
Why
you acting like you man? You know them old. You know them older ladies in the city. They don't play about their nails. Them nails gonna be done and they gonna be on point.
To our ladies out there, is there such a thing as diamond dust in your nail polish? Could y'all answer that? Please? Is that such a thing?
Miss Gail got her own. How much she got her own nail. She got her own nail polish, baby, just for her. When they come through there, they got to get all the new equipment. You know, she don't use the same shit twice. The little stuff to sit on and the foot bath, they're gonna do. You gotta get a new one every time.
She probably got her own setup, bro.
Yeah, about $100,000 a month, bro. Just get her nails done, man.
Wow, you might be right, bro. Pelicans Noah's asking the question. What do you think, Big Q? What do you think Joe is going to do with the Pelicans?
Put it up
team?
on the screen, Q. I want to see the question.
All right, there you go.
Highlight my man, bro. There you go.
So Pelicans Noel is asking about what do you think that Joe Dumars does with the team? Right now, according to the press conference, he was very honest and so far as saying that he's still evaluating. He listened to, talking to everything, trying to figure out the injury situation. So he's kind of doing his Perry Mason thing. He's doing his investigating and trying to get to the bottom of what's going on. Because
so he opened a briefcase and showed that shit to Miss Benson and started going over.
He hired Paul Drake. They're doing investigative work. They're trying to find everything out. They got Della Street on the phone setting up appointments. They're trying to get it all going. So, yeah, Joe's doing his research on trying to figure out what's going on with the team, fam. Because he knows as much about the Pelicans as somebody standing outside, watching what's happening from afar. So talking to players, talking to staff, talking to the medical staff, trying to get the answers. And if Joe Dumars wants to get that success here, you can't get around that. And that's something that David Griffin failed at. The health staff stuff, he just, instead of fixing it and going right at it as much as he can, he just started using excuses. He pivoted toward all of this fanciful rhetoric about good human beings that sickened us. And we've seen how soft these guys is. And listen, I'm going to tell y'all something, man. A lot of the stuff that they talked about here is talking points that we talk about and other people talk about. And that's the real stuff. It's like the questioning the toughness of the team, the soft verbiage, the good human being rhetoric, the basketball cult stuff, the stuff on the walls, all that stuff we talked about here on the show. We ridiculed all of the foolishness they got on the wall, the non-aggressive verbiage, all this kind of stuff. And he basically hit on a lot of the stuff. The mandate rhetoric, I said that was a bunch of BS. How you gonna mandate a man who the Pelicans don't have anything, not even close to a respectable team over time. And this guy, obviously, where he comes from, all the success that he's had as a player and as an exec. Because Detroit was dumpster fire when he came in there and took them over. They were a dumpster fire when he came in there. And he kind of restored them. They got a championship chip. It kind of fell apart.
Definitely not starting from as low as he was.
That's right, DC. That's the point. And also, this is another thing I want to kind of caveat. And I talked about this when they first hired Joe Dumars, that he was affixed to the league office. And he has a great relationship with Adam Silver. That should bode well for the Pelicans insofar as having him as a vice president of basketball operations gives them a direct line to the NBA office in the favorable
gonna get them calls.
That's right. Mm-hmm. Zion Williamson look for the Pelicans, and Zion Williamson to get more light with those calls and all that. So that's the underlining thing. That's really a caveat there that I wanted to impress upon you guys. But I expect Joe Dumars to come in here, talk to everybody, iron out a lot of the stuff. but you can't get past the two major things, fam, which is the health problem and also the head coach issue. So
Right.
if there's a mandate, I don't see why Joe Dumars, as smart as he is, likes Willie Green, but if he talks to the players and the reports are true about how they quit on him, how do you get beyond that? And there go other credible coaches that are well resumed that's better than him out there. But go ahead, bro. I'm gonna give you the last point before we shut down.
Yeah, man, I think we have a lot to be encouraged about and look forward to. Although a lot of these things probably will take some time to come into fruition. As I've been stating here, press conference doesn't really change anything particularly just yet with Willie Green. I think worst case scenario, Willie Green is the coach this year and this year only. Maybe he gets let go in the middle of the year and they set themselves up to convince James Borrego to come on back one more time or something like that. But looking beyond the Willie thing, because we know that is the number one thing on the list for all of us, right? If you had everybody say something about Willie Green, you only got about 10% of people, Pels people out there that are like, well, give him a chance. I'm not happy. I'm not so sad about Willie Green coming back. Maybe it was David Griffin's fault. He didn't give him a lot to work with, which that one kind of sort of is true. But most people are like, man, Willie Green to get the hell out of here, right? Well, I don't think we're going to be blessed with that news probably anytime this month. But the closer we get to the season, maybe Joe takes 4 weeks, does his evaluations like a professional GM would do. I mean, you're supposed to sit and evaluate everything. Draft ball night, I'm cool with that. Now, if we go into the draft and Willie Green is still our coach, there you have it, family. That's your answer. Because you can't draft a player and you're calling all draft like, hey, let you talk to coach, you know, and then you fire that guy before the season starts. I seriously doubt it. So I'm putting the timeline is before the NBA draft on Willie Green, preferably probably a month or so before the draft. I think they would definitely have to make a decision because you got to talk strategy, what guy you would want to bring in, how you're going to use him, and all of this type of shit. And you're not going to bring your coach in to do that? So that part I don't like. I don't think any of us likes, right? But everything else, I think Joe is going to start moving swiftly. Them goddamn banners going to get towed the fuck down there. They take that shit down. We might put like a rock up there, you know. He's going to talk to all the guys and kind of, well, he said he talked to everybody, but he only talked to Willie for 5 minutes. I thought that was very, very intriguing that he said he talked to everybody and he did not state how long he talked to whoever he talked to. But when he talked about how he talked to Willie, he made it known he talked to Willie for about 5 minutes. Yeah, then, you know, we can talk too after this is over so I can fire your ass. Hopefully. But I ain't trying to hold out hope. Joe had a very impressive press conference. I mean, it's just words, but everything he said, it sounded spot on. It's what you would want to hear from your GM in a situation where we're coming from with a team that was built on weakness, quitting, and having compassion for everybody else, even though we get slapped in the face and fouled and shit all the time. We supposed to feel sorry for other people. So glad that shit is getting out of here. But we got to see them go through the process and make the necessary steps to ensure that they do that. At this point, hearing him speak, I think the only impediment of him doing that would be them, you know, not willing to spend money. And we know that's a real thing, and we got to deal with it. The Pelicans are always on a perpetual budget, you know, so they never are not on a budget. We can win a championship, Pel's still going to be on some type of budget. So we just got to deal with that reality. Hopefully you would think they could build up to the level of the Saints because, you know, the Saints was on a budget forever. Even when they got Drew Brees in first place, they were still on a budget now. We won a championship on a goddamn budget. That was probably some of the worst shit that could have happened to us because now they feel like they could keep doing that shit. But looking at what we have in front of us, I think this is a great first step to maybe not have our franchise be a laughingstock and actually get back to some form of competing for something meaningful. I don't see them competing for a championship next year. I think if everything falls perfectly, we can make the playoffs and maybe win a series. That's pretty much the ceiling. The floor is having another year like this because Willie Green's still the coach. So if Willie Green's still the coach, we don't address the injuries. What's separating us from losing just like how we did this year? I mean, we can have all the talent in the world. You can't keep them on the court. Like, you're still going to lose. So there's no talk of what they're going to do to the medical situation. Joe says he's listening, and that's good. Maybe the players have some great ideas. I have my personal guys do this, that, and the third. I think it would really be helpful if we got another physical therapist. Most teams have probably at least 5 of those. You know what I'm saying? We got one. Maybe, do we have 2? We got 2 now, right?
Maybe I think 2.
I think we got 2.
We have 2.
They revisit the Zion minutes restrictions and looking at him and his spikes and all of that, and they fine tune that process, open Zion up to be able to play more, but have his minutes in a manageable situation to where he's not getting consistently injured. I think that would be first on the priority list, is keeping Zion healthy and really taking that serious. And I think Joe, in the era he comes from, he probably have a lot of little small tips for Zion and different things. He's a player. He's an older guy. I think Zion is going to take what he says seriously. Unlike, can you imagine David Griffin trying to talk to you about playing basketball and what you need to do to stay on the court? Can you imagine that shit?
Yeah, well, he did it.
And it never worked. I wonder why. Because he probably had a handful of great ideas in a garbage bag full of garbage ones. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, listen, dude, when you first got here, I tried to take you serious. The first thing you told me to do is I need to do a goddamn ramp up. Well, I did that shit, David, and I kept getting fucking hurt. So, of course, Zion, any good information they had coming from the front office for any of those players, they wouldn't take them serious. I remember watching Brandon Ingram and Zion, and they were talking to CJ, and CJ was talking about doing yoga and stretching and shit, and they was laughing at him. Like, damn, bro, I thought y'all knew y'all had. They didn't even know they had to stretch. And Drew Holiday just was over there being quiet. This when Drew Holiday was still on the team. No, I'm sorry. That's not when Drew Holiday was on the team. That was when they got CJ. Now, Drew and CJ weren't on the same team at the same time. But they did the Vibe, not Vibe. What is the basketball thing? It remind me of Vibe. They had them on the cover in the Mardi Gras uniforms.
Oh, the hoops. Well,
hoops, yeah, hoops. And they did the same shoot Zion rookie year with Lonzo Ball, Drew Holiday, B.I., and him and Zion. So that's when my mind was getting crossed. But yeah, CJ was talking about how he stretches before the game and it helps to prevent injury. Him and B.I. was just laughing at him. It's almost like they was calling them gay board a lot. And they went out there queuing and both of them jokers got hurt.
That's what I'm saying.
And that probably was one of CJ's healthier years.
Yeah.
When that happened. Yeah. So setting a standard, moving forward and fixing all of that, I think would be an excellent thing.
Here go last question, TFP. Who's the best coach available, and who do you all think would be a great fit for the ones that have been fired? I mean, you have, who do you have? Taylor Jenkins that's out there. Coach Malone's out there. Mike Brown, of course, he's out there. What's the Phoenix? Coach Bud is out there. Man, I don't think did Billy Donovan get fired yet? I know he was on the hot seat. I don't know if he got fired yet, but a lot of these coaches,
maybe they hold on to him. I mean, they did take all his players. Like, how are you really supposed to win? He looked pretty good when Lonzo Ball and DeMar and Levine were all healthy. He looked good. I don't know. Maybe Billy stays.
I don't know, DC. So yeah, the coach is the best coach. A lot of people gonna say Coach Malone is the one that they would favor. I mean, because the guy
How do
just
you
won a
not?
championship a couple of years ago.
Nah. Joker. Just look at Joe. He knows how to manage a superstar.
Mm-hmm.
They say he lost the team because of his love for Russell Westbrook. That's what broke the team up. Not for how he treated Joker.
Right. That's what I heard too, bro.
So maybe that's a good coach, or maybe that's hell on wheels. He might come in here and do the same shit with CJ McCollum.
I don't know, bro, but yeah,
I need to pay CJ $40 million a year to come
coaches.
back.
Yeah, a bunch of good coaches out here, man. Yeah, Mike Malone is at the top of the list. He got to be.
Taylor Jenkins is your number one guy, right?
I like Malone first because of. I mean, you imagine how the family base would be if you get Coach Dumars here, and then Coach Dumars pivots and hires Mike Malone as his coach. That would just. Do you not understand the level of involvement that the support base will have when you have Joe Dumars and then he hires a championship coach? Not a guy that been that been gone for the last 5+ years, but this guy just won a championship 2 years ago. You don't find that often. That was a really dumb move by the ownership of the Nuggets. I mean, usually some of these guys, you let them go after they're past their prime, but Mike Malone just won a championship 2 years ago. The team is relevant right now because of what he did. So, I mean, you don't see that opportunity often. You don't see often when you fire these coaches and they still have it at the point, and they're the franchise leading winningest coaches. You don't see this happen at all. Like, I don't remember this ever happening in all the years of me watching pro basketball to see Taylor Jenkins, who's all-time winning Memphis coach, put in the street. Mike Malone, 2 years removed from a championship, all-time winning his Denver Nuggets coach, put in the street. Haven't seen that ever. So you have your picks and chooses. Coach Bud, several years back. He's
when the coach crossed two organizations, two small organizations.
Yep, Coach Bud is out there.
He did a lot of winning with Atlanta and won a championship with Milwaukee. Like Bud, I think will work here as well. As you see, my man on the screen says Bud would be great for Zion and Trey. Shout out to Stacey.
That's what I'm saying. In order to take the Pelicans serious, how would you pass up all of these pedigreed resume coaches? You pair him with Coach with VP Dumars, and he gets one of these guys. Man, that's a whole nother level.
Easy,
a whole nother level.
You know how?
Go ahead.
Because the answers are in the building. I knew you would like that one.
Yeah, everybody. I'm about to put together. I'm gonna see if they got some of his gifts.
The old carjacker, huh?
The old carjacker. There you go. All right, so we're going to get ready to leave, fam. Listen, we appreciate y'all for being in the stream. But, DC, before we leave, let's give the family members a nice little song. This is dedicated to Joe Dumars, who really kind of set things the right way into that stream. It's the song. Here we
go.
The trucks that last.
Passion. Fuck that compassion.
The all-new 2014 Chevy Silverado.
Oh, man.
Strong
Come here
for all the roads.
Win. Keep winning. Because we feel tough.
Yes. Yeah.
You're forward tough. That's right. That's right,
Joe Dumars. That's the first banner that's going to go up there, DC.
Joe done got him a goddamn he done got him a segment that fast, boy. It ain't take long, boy.
Like a rock. That's gonna be on the shirt. Yeah, there you go. All right. So anyway, man, with that being said, we're gonna get out on that. We appreciate you guys for giving us some time tonight. Please do us a service. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. By all means, feel free to share PPR on your social media, wherever you socialize. We up in this thing, Big QDC, representing the Pelican Post-Game Report. For the flocking nation, the diehards, man.
Hope y'all feeling good, man. Joe Dumars did great,
He did good in his press conference.
I don't think he could have had a better press conference, man. Ain't nobody. Some other people could have done it different, but I don't. An opening press conference, I don't think he could have did it any better.
Well, 63% of the people polled agree with you that Joe Dumars. They're happy with Joe Dumars being the VP, and let's see what he do with all the other stuff. He got to do his evaluation. It's not as bad as what he got with Detroit. That's true. So we'll see how this all goes.
We're talking about Wade for Jay. We got to get up out of here, man. We got to stay like a rock in the other parts of our life, bro.
All right. So with that being said, man, we're gonna get out on that. We appreciate you guys for being in the stream. Much love to fan. We'll holler at you on the next one, man. We got a lot of stuff. May 12th is another next big update. Pelicans, that is the NBA
so we
lottery.
got to come back and talk about that, huh?
We're gonna talk about that and other things, man. So with that being said, we're gonna holler at y'all on the next one, man. Much love, peace, and go Pelicans.
You're listening to the Pelicans postgame report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
Perfect. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican ain't gon' lie, I feel flyer than I ever been. We stay ballin', this New Orleans, I'm a Pelican. It's going down in the nest, wild, wild west. Come in town and do best, show us some respect. 3-point threat, I better make it rain. If it's up, then don't jump stupid like your ankle sprain. Always said, never hate the player, hate the game. Jumper where the dame late, bunch of trains. Post game, big Q, talking about business. Bird gang, YouTube, they ain't flocking with us. Lock up the division mission, get into the finals. Finish competition, then it's going win the title. I know this flyer than you can get. Such a threat that the ref just might call a tag. You could double, you could press, but you can't check. Right, left, slide by you like a Eurostep. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever, Pelican forever. And never, and never, and never, and never, and never, and never say birds of a feather flock together. Yeah, fly down, I'm a Pelican forever, Pelican forever.
TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. So check out the Pro Shop and Who That too.